November 21. Excuse me. This dream, I had to do it. I mean, I mentioned that sometimes you see things the day before, right, and you're processing it. But there's other times where it's purposeful, right? Oh, my feet. I went last night after work. I went to my cousin's because they were supposed to. they invited me over for soup, homemade soup that they were gonna make. They just invited me over for dinner. So I was like, yeah, sure. I wasn't expecting to walk. Now I'm like, I should never not anticipate walking because we're in Sydney. and it's, you know, a Saturday night. So I took shoes that I've walked in before, and I tried out these new socks that I bought that are thick. And they're not the same as my other walking socks. So I was developing blisters. I mean, just, there's no blisters, but it's sore. Oh yeah, there is a blister. It just never got to that point of popping. or even, not even a popping, but like blowing up. I'm looking at it because I can see the little, like, it's very subtle. So that's why it's sensitive. I'm like, oh, okay. It's probably had it on this side too. I didn't realize it. Oh yeah. Okay. That makes sense now. So I might be bedridden today. So, okay. So I didn't expect to go walking. I expected just to go to their house and have dinner and then come home. Hang out and come home. But they didn't get a chance to they got busy, you know. So what we ended up doing was just going for a walk. A long walk. And so this was the first with the change of night and day, or what's it? The time change. And it's darker quicker. So this is the first time that I actually go out in the night scene. Like, not that I was in the night scene, but just out at night. And so there was a part of me that was just like, I got this. Like, it's not scary. And yeah. So yeah, so that happened. And there's this element of just, again, I didn't think I was gonna be out and about. I was preparing to be at their house. But that didn't happen, so we walked around and talked. And there was this element of like, I was catching them up because we hadn't talked in a while. So I was catching them up about just the latest, right? The latest with like this person from my past, this past fire sign. And then realizing too, I was just like, you know what? Like, they asked me like, has he reached out? And I'm like, you know, now that you're saying that, asking, I'm like, no. And then I was even, like last night I even thought about it. I looked up the last time I sent a message after I confronted, right? After I confronted him about what he wasn't saying, he had to respond back. I was like, I mean, I wasn't thinking about it much. And then after my last response too, and I was just like, oh, that sucks. Like it, and there was just that sitting with it, because I was also catching them up about, you know, taking ownership for my part, right? In my marriage, and just owning my part is what I was telling her. I was like, I'm owning my part by letting him know, right? That I made this choice during our marriage, and this realization, right, of how I put my sense of self-worth on him, and through this healing process for him, he was also doing it on me, right? Putting his sense of self-worth on me and this marriage. But when we were talking about this fire sign from my past, that was that realization. I was like, oh, that sucks. Like there was this foundation for friendship that was being built. And then there's no, and now, right, that he got caught, and or, right, regardless of, there's this element of like, then what was all that for, right? What was that, all that time, all that getting to know each other, and you know, the sharing, was it really just to get something from me when I went to visit? Just, you know, was that all that was it? And so it's like, okay, well, screw the friendship, you know? So I was sitting with that. I was just like, oh, okay, wow. This realization, right, of like there was no follow through, in the sense of like, I mean, I know from my end it was very, at least the last message was just like, I wish you the best, you know. But he hasn't heard that message either. The last one. So then just wondering, like, wow, like no acknowledgement, no you know, like no attempt to kind of bring that to a close, unless that was his attempt of just explaining himself and not acknowledging or not that there's an apology needed, but just an acknowledgement of like, oh yeah, so, you know, I choose not to have any more connection with you, you know, on his part. So I started thinking, I'm like, did I do that with anybody else in my past? And you know, I'm just thinking about like, I mean, with my ex, there's still an element of healing, right? So there isn't, it's still open-ended in terms of our communication. So there's that. There's the person that I had the affair with, and that was brought to a close. I mean, that was brought to a close. I mean, I even remember saying, like, I'm not going to reach out anymore. You know, but if you have questions about this path, I am more than happy to address them. That was my last statement to him. Even this other person from my past, the one that's taken a lot of this healing process with me, energetically, if you will. Funny. No, and with him there was a sense of like there was closure, in the sense of like what I needed. And the only reason why I know that is because I was actually, last night before I went to bed, I was like thinking about it. I'm like, did I, was there Was there a closure? Like, or did I just push him away, or I actually still had the message. I hadn't deleted the last message. And it was March 27th that I sent him that message and this was after I had said like the first time it was where I said I can't do this, I can't be a part of this because it's unbalanced. And I promised myself that I wasn't going to be a part of something that's unbalanced. And a lot of it was just because, you know, it's just work was predominant in his life. And I was just like, I can't. I'm choosing not to. It wasn't that I didn't love him. It was just imbalanced. It was just imbalanced. And it wasn't just about work too. Our communication shifted, and it's just imbalanced. And I said that, well, in a message to him. But the final message, so after that, there was this attempt to be friends, but I was realizing that I was still getting triggered, and so I actually sent a message to him saying, I need you to know that I'm trying, but I don't think I can do this, and I think I need space from you, and so I can't talk to you right now, and you know, maybe our paths will cross in the future. So I was kind of, there was a sense of relief of like, okay, I did say something, right? Because I had forgotten. And so there was that acknowledgement of like, hey, I'm trying, I can't, I need space, right? Versus this whole cancel generation of like, I'm just gonna block you and not say anything to you, right? Even though indirectly, right? Behaviorally, I'm like, well, what does that say, right? It says that the other person needs space. Whatever, if they can't use their words, I get it. But this I think what surprises me is that this person can communicate. They can communicate. So it's not like there's a barrier to communication, like other people who might struggle with it. That's surprising. That's surprising. But yeah, that perfect example, right? If you see people's true colors with time. So in my dream, the only scene that stands out, the scenes that stand out, I'm in bed, I'm naked in bed with this Caucasian man, but he's younger than me, like half my age younger than me, and he's seeing all of me, like I'm naked, but I can't bring myself to be physically intimate. Like he's wanting to, and I'm like, no, I can't. But I'm comfortable with him just seeing all of me. Like, I'm like, I don't care, right? You can see all of me if you want, but I just can't engage in that act with you. And he's wanting to. And there's this, like, almost pleading. But what makes me uncomfortable, I think there's an element of the culture, almost also. But it's really his age that I'm struggling with. And I'm like, I don't know. And the thing is, it's not even the age either. It's the fact that I can see right through him. And I can see the little boy inside. And I can't. Like if there's just, because I see the little boy inside, it makes me uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable. And so I don't know if and then I was even trying to think and it's from the city. Like, he's from the city because there's a scene in the city where we're out and about, and it's during the day, and I'm just walking the streets. I'm walking the streets, but the funny thing is, where we're being intimate, or just hanging out, or being naked, if you will, it's in excuse me, there's this, it's a new home. Like, the home itself that we're in, the bedroom, le da un aire. There's a whiff of it being my parents' room. The old room. When I was younger. But then when I go outside of the room, it's the layout is the bedroom is my childhood, my parents' room when I was little. But when I go out of the bedroom, it's a different house setup. It's a different setup. So there has to be a connection to that room. In terms of the symbolism, maybe. I don't know, but it was interesting. Like, it was just interesting to find myself in the bedroom, in the bed, really under the covers, but naked and fully exposed to this other person next to me, who I know but I don't know at the same time, and he's wanting more of me. He's younger than me, and I'm uncomfortable with the fact that he's wanting to participate in something more, because I could see right through him. So, anyways, I don't know what that's all about, but that was the biggest, like, that's what stood out the most in this dream. That's what it's just that I saw the, so now I wonder, like, is that something I need to work on in terms of my healing, age differences, but the other way around, or is it that I'm that in tuned now that it's not gonna just be any guy, right? You know, if I can see the wounded person inside, nope, do your healing. So I don't know, but all right, that's all. Bye. Ow. I have 3 minutes left of footage. I just wanted to speak to my waves, and I'm just crying because I'm still in awe from yesterday. Just overall, but 2 minutes, okay. I was thinking about yesterday and reflecting on my clients, and then the one client who's a therapist, but who, I mean, I was helping her process her dreams, and just that awareness of, like, that's why she came out in my dream a few weeks back. And just being grateful for this really cool experience, right? Being able to see. And then just seeing some of my other clients who are on the spectrum, and some of the struggles they're going through. And I mean, someone else who doesn't know how to work with them would have just said, I can't work with you. But I could see them trying. And I recommended Reiki because this client was trying to find ways, like, how do I get over my fetishes, right? In his own way, communicating. Like I could just, I get him. And he's trying to find ways to stop certain behaviors and thoughts. And then I recommended Reiki. But anyways, okay, 1 minute left. So I'm thinking about them, and I'm seeing the movement at the top, like, just validating. And then I'm seeing the left, the past, kind of go up, over, and the future is responding. So it's like just from this side going up, and they're touching. And then it does that for a while, and then it starts from the heart, from the water out and then up. And then, but there was more, at first there was more movement from the past, from the left, going over to try to reach over to the future and touch. And then they would meet halfway. And so there was this almost balanced approach with the movement. And then there, I could feel it, like I could feel the love kind of starting from here and coming out. So yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was feeling as I was seeing the movement. And just the validation, continued validation, and the gratefulness that I have this connection to source, where I don't have to rely so much on tarot anymore or on other people. Like I can just go within and I can find that guidance through my dreams, through the tarot spread, through meditation and prayer. It's such a wonderful feeling to trust myself, really. Thank you. That was all.
Hi, my name is Yubi, and in case you haven't figured it out, this footage is capturing my experience as I learn to navigate my personal spiritual awakening. I am learning that this experience is unique to each one of us, in whatever way we believe we are embracing living our truth. This just happens to be my journey. And despite me having a graduate degree and a license in clinical social work, this by no means is intended to replace any type of mental health advice. This is just me on a personal level, documenting my experience, shedding light on the truth that I am learning and discovering for myself, and really inviting you along for the ride. If by some magical chance you find this content to be helpful in any way, shape, or form, please click the like button, share the message, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have an Instagram account, a personal one, and one specifically for this channel that you're more than welcome to check out. I'm an open book. I have also created t-shirt designs. I'm wearing my favorite one right now, which is the North Node design, but I have that and other things that you can look at inspired by this process and journey, and I have the link in the description box as well as in the about section of my YouTube channel. So you're more than welcome to check those items out. Any type of support is great. Again, if you find this content really helpful or meaningful, sometimes when we take that step and be vulnerable, with showing what's inside our hearts and what's really our truth, we realize that we're much more connected than what we thought we were. And so I hope that as I'm living this experience and that you find some type of truth for yourself, or find some type of ability to heal in some way just by relating, just by knowing that you're not alone. That really has been my goal with this process, not just being able to connect with others, but really for my own healing. It's definitely been a therapeutic experience and a very creative one for myself. So I thank you, and I wish you all the best, and we'll see what else comes next for me. So take care.